Okay, let's get to this question. Okay, what recourse does a special student have when the school system personnel make errors on a transcript and refuses to correct the errors? I would have to say, you would go, well, is it a special education issue, meaning was there a denial of a free and appropriate public education? It depends. It depends on if the mark on the transcript potentially has, some negative impact with regards to the child's transitional future. If it has any kind of impact on, let's say, qualification, meaning identification under the law, least restrictive environment, things of that nature. Okay, that would be special education issues, but you need to do that analysis. If the error on the transcript doesn't impact those things, then special education student or not, it becomes a FERPA issue. And under the Federal Education Records Act, Protection Act, FERPA, then yes, there is recourse within FERPA for you to challenge that. Now you sit there and you go, well, how do you challenge it? Well, FERPA lays out the challenge process. You would just need to do some research on that, and it's not difficult, but I will tell you it's an in-house analysis. It's not like due process to where you have some neutral. It is an in-house process, and they can assign somebody in-house per FERPA. Now, it doesn't keep you from filing a complaint under FERPA to the feds and getting them involved in that as well. But it would really depend on a different analysis, like I said, whether or not it's a true special education issue. And then if it's not, then as far as errors on transcripts, you can also get the State Department of Education involved. They would have departments there where there would be sort of an investigative body, but it mostly under FERPA, your ability to challenge it is there. You don't have a right to get an attorney involved like you would for a special education case. You have a right to get one involved, but you would have to pay for that attorney out of your own pocket. Whereas if you had an attorney get involved, let's say on a special education case or a 504, and when I say a special education case, I'm talking about one that meets that level of justification for filing a due process complaint, which there's a myriad of areas where that's allowed. But like I said, for your specific situation where it's an error on a transcript, there would need to be a secondary determination or analysis to determine whether or not it was a violation of FAPE or identification, least restrictive environment, things of that nature. If it's not, then like I said, it would be a pure FERPA challenge, and you would need to go through that process as laid out in FERPA, which is an in-house review. But you do have the State Department of Education to pull from. You can file a complaint with FERPA. They have that department in DC that would be able to also assist, but that would be the mechanism for your particular issue. Now, as far as the board attorney intentionally providing false information, is the attorney culpable? No, because they're acting on behalf of the district themselves. They're not acting as their individual in their individual capacity. Can you file a bar complaint against them? I guess you could, but at the same time, you'd need to absolutely have it locked down that what they did was intentional, and it was there. The intent was there to bias or but I can tell you that attorney would just say, look, I was doing what I was told, and this was the information that I was relying upon as the mouthpiece and representative for the school system. So once again, in my viewpoint, this tracks back to the school system, and it would be a FERPA issue.